this episode of Rough Talk VR. Today we're doing a review episode. We hit you with some news on Monday. Today we have a little bit of a game review.
Game review coming to you. It's a game review.
And do we have something in store Friday? Let's see. But today we're talking about The Last Worker, the VR edition, at least on the MetaQuest store. The official MetaQuest store, I'll specify. The reason I say that is that this is a game available flat screen. There's like a flat screen PC version, console versions of this game. So you don't have to play it in VR, but it's one of those examples when you play it in VR, it feels, obviously it's made for VR in this port, but like I wouldn't even want to play it console. The game works so good in VR.
Yeah, and I agree. Another example of something, if I played flat screen, I would instantly be thinking this should be in VR.
Yes, that's what I'm alluding to. So I
Definitely.
I get the vibes that
But
VR,
you can play it everywhere, so that's kind of cool.
And sometimes in these examples, you even like to go and do a comparison if you're able to play it, on your Xbox. I don't think in this example it was compatible with your model of Xbox, right?
No, I went to actually buy it. I was like, screw it, I think I'll buy it. And I think it was $14.99 on the Xbox, I believe, and it said it's not compatible.
That
I
sucks.
don't understand why, because graphically they're certainly not.
Yeah, it has that what's the name of it? That cell shade
Yeah,
type graphics where it looks like you can see the almost like thick.
it's almost like comic book style.
Yeah, it's animated looking. It looks like hand drawn.
Yeah,
And in some instances the thick line was so much that like that you might have like a little drone following you, a little like floating bird robot later in the story, and there's times it turned and faced me, and the black line was so thick around all the edges that the whole character was pretty much just a black line.
oh, I didn't have that.
Oh my god, it was like the shading was all over it. But yeah, it definitely has that cell shade type graphic. So when you told me it wasn't compatible with your Xbox, I was shocked as well.
I don't know what's going on. So maybe it's only like part of the PC. I don't know, but it was in the store, so I was like, hey,
But nonetheless, today we're talking about the VR version on the official MetaQuest store, and it's $19.99 on the MetaQuest store. Came out March 30th, 2023, with a 4.1 overall currently, with, as of the time of recording, 26 total ratings and 20 written reviews, which is a little low for official store, but granted, been out a month, and sometimes
not one star though.
No, that's important to note. A lot of 4 stars, a lot of 4 and 5.
And I'll tell you right now, you release a game on that Quest store and there's download problems, you're getting 1 star. Unfortunately, that's usually the bulk of all the complaints when a game first comes out is I couldn't play it. It won't load. And so it was good to see that they came out with a clean release.
Yeah, and functionally the game's pretty good. I had a little bit of control issues just due to my own stick drift on my controller.
Yeah, I had no probs.
But that's my own issue. That's not a game issue. That's an issue that's going to exist in any one of those situations. I just need to do the WD-40 contact cleaner solution. I have it right in my...
I wouldn't have said their name.
Yeah, unless they've... Yeah, that's a good point.
We'll just blur that out. Actually, bleep it out. Yeah.
Not for broadcast style.
100%. So anyways.
So yeah, nonetheless, came out, like I said, March 30th, about a month ago, and it's developed by... It's spelled OFFIY, Offie, and then also Wolfenwood, and then it's published by Wired Productions, which had you dying laughing on the load-in.
Yeah, dude, it says, okay, so hats off to them because, boy, this is a funny one. They got Wired Productions written on a razor blade.
Yeah, that's their logo.
Yeah, it's their logo. But I'm not implying nothing, but
it seems a little innuendo-ish.
Wired and the razor blade. The only thing you're missing is the Coke and the mirror there.
Yeah, there's only thing missing is some powder on the razor blade.
So it just was a creative.
Residue.
I thought it was a creative both name and
maybe that's not their intention, but I mean,
dude,
damn
what
if
else?
not.
What else could it be? I think it's just a play and a funny play on the whole subject.
Which this has nothing to do with the game, but if we're just going to talk about names too, Wolfenwood is a pretty badass name.
Yeah, I was actually trying to reverse it for Woodwolf.
Wood and Wolf?
Woodwolf.
Woodwolf?
Wolf and Wood.
I like it. It's kind of a dope name. I don't know. I get with
most studios, it's like let's either the publisher or developer, one of the two will always have just a really bomb ass name. Yeah. It's like, wow, these studio names are great. Especially a lot of the indie ones.
Well, Holy Moses. It's cool because it makes it easier to remember for next time. You know? Like Mother Gunship Forge has terrible posture games. That's a hilarious name. Come on, man. So yeah, Wolfenwood is.
Don't get terrible posture. I've been playing that again.
Yeah, it's a good one. That's another one with updates. But nonetheless, we're talking about today. Last worker. Like I said, 4.1 overall, and the game kind of takes you through a story where, geez, I would basically say you're an Amazon worker, right?
You're not Amazon.
You're Youngle.
Youngle.
Which is awfully spelled a lot like jungle.
Jungle.
Which is similar to Amazon.
Amazon.
And you seem to have a very Bezos-y boss.
They mentioned Bezos in the game.
Yeah, and subtle humor, like as a, do we say in what?
It's
so subtle.
It's a spoiler. It's only,
it is.
What sucks is it is a story-based game, so it's like...
Let's actually say even on the store, it says interactive story.
Yes, 1,000,000%. But there's a lot of shit like I really want to say, but they could be interpreted as a spoiler. Like the fact you mentioned the bird, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, but at the same point,
cray.
I think we gotta pull the trigger sometimes too, I just had to mention the bird specifically because, well, and dude,
I'm just saying
there's so many robots in this game. When you do the initial
load, deep.
When you do the initial load-in of this game, they give you like almost like an animated, fast-paced cut screen that subtly introduces some lore, but there's no like dialogue during it. It's just like an animation scene. So if you watch it, you'll kind of get a rough idea of what's going on as long as you pay attention. I actually enjoyed it. It was a really cool little intro to me.
I didn't know it was actually, and shame on me for not really some story-based interactive whatever. I don't necessarily take it serious till I'm playing it. And when I first started playing it, I truly had the feeling that this whole game might actually just be me delivering packages. Which,
it seemed at the first two missions.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if I did this for a living. Like if I worked in an Amazon warehouse, I'd want to come home.
That was the first thing I thought.
And operate a
worse,
flying, hovering forklift and somebody who would select packages for a boss that's equally the same as the guy I work for.
It just says hustle, hustle, hustle. Or how about this? Somebody who had just worked there for 8 years, a little PTSD about it, like just last thing they want to do is deliver packages. They go to play a video game and
if you don't deliver the packages in time,
you're fired.
You're fired. You
get an F.
Fuck off and find a new job. It's like you're indiscriminately canned.
I love it. But the game's called The Last Worker.
Yes.
So they give you that little prelude intro where they kind of explain something subtly. Like there's some love story in it, and then
it's got a little bit of everything at the end of the day, to be honest with you.
When you go into actually playing, then you look to your top left, there's a photo of you, kissing somebody, and it's like, oh, that's the person who was in the story. At least it would be strange if not. But then they go right into...
I met her on Tinder.
They went right into introducing you how to play the game, and you have this like floating green robot right there, and he's like doing a little tutorial walkthrough of like as if it's your first shift, and your character, who at this point, I'll say it for all intents and purposes, he looks like a really fat slob. They have him like, I think intentionally dirty. When they show you where you live, it's in a freaking
live in a junkyard, basically.
Yeah, it's pretty
a scrap area.
Yeah, I laughed because it's like that animated type drawing, but when you first load in, near where the photo is, there's also like a mirror, so you can see what you're looking. I was like, no fucking way.
I loved it. I thought
I laughed right away.
Yeah, dude, your dude looks like exactly how he's coming across. The voice actor that they got to do him is
phenomenal.
Perfect. Yeah, I'd say all the voice acting I've heard. My favorite though,
Skew, baby.
Skew, your little personal robot friend that's been with you for decades.
Yeah, I'll give a spoiler because it's 10 minutes into the game. So I'll give a spoiler.
I'll spoil the first 10 minutes for you.
Yeah, why?
No worries.
Yeah, why not? Because otherwise it's not going to make sense about Skew. Because I'm going to tell you about
I get it.
I'm going to tell you about the tutorial. That they load you in and they have the green robot that, we have such identified as Skew, who's the most badass character in the game. He's being a little annoying as shit, treating you like it's your first day as an employee, and you're like, Skew, I've been here for over a decade. Everybody else has been fired. I'm the last worker here. I know how to do my job. And he's like glitching out, and you're like, get over here, man. I'll reset you. And he's just not having it. So that's their way of like in the lore having you do the tutorial for the game. So in that, they'll teach you how to deliver packages, which you have a couple things you got to look at. Like you have this little floating cart. That's how you move around. Yeah, that's how you move, though. It can go up, down. It flies around.
The warehouses are huge.
Oh, my goodness.
As are Amazon warehouses.
There's so many different spots. So then they teach you how to move. You have this gun. That's how you like grab a hold of things. And then there's an attachment that you can put on it. That's how you can flip through some different tags that if a box that you go to grab is incorrect or damaged or, other different things that might pop in the game, like expired, like it's out of season, you got to put the correct label on it and then recycle it. So when you go and you'll have a map and it shows you where the recycle spot is and it shows you where if something is correct and needs to be actually shipped, it's blue on the map and it shows you where that is. And then you'll have an indicator of where your package you need to pick up is. But like you said, man, these places are big. So you'll...
Yeah, and it's of course, it's like a space age kind of feeling warehouse.
Oh, it's futuristic.
So it's not, it's actually like poorly designed from warehouse standards. If you were a true picker, you'd be like, well, what the hell is this? Everything should be in just the rows.
But since it's all robots working besides you, it's no problem for them.
Yeah, for the robots, it's great. But you are the last human worker working for Youngle.
Yes, there's a recurring theme in this game of, I'll say, quote unquote, end stage capitalism, where this Amazon knockoff has laid off all of their employees. For whatever reason, not you though. You've maintained enough efficiency that they love your ass. Yeah. They don't really quite explain that to you too much in the initial. You're just like, wow, I've managed to avoid it.
Yeah, shit kind of later. I mean, with the story as it progresses, you obviously figure out more shit, but it's going to take you a while to get to that point.
And there's times that you have to, compete for your job against robots as well, where they try to lay you off and you compete for it and you maintain it. So I get the vibe that your guy's done this and just somehow been the more efficient than the robots.
This is not the first time that your boss has
the Bezos knockoff with,
the Bezos knockoff
with
I'm
rainbow
not even
hair.
Mentioning that guy's name
with rainbow hair.
I don't need no legal problems.
They gave him so half of his head is bald, then the other half of his head is almost like a half shaved mohawk type deal, and it's rainbow. And like there's a recurring theme that it puts off the progression that he's progressive, or puts off the illusion that he's very progressive, but clearly he's not. So it's very
the money.
There's like I said, really good humor in this game. But on the map where it shows you where your package is, you're gonna get there, and they're, like you said, huge. There's probably gonna be like 10 to 20 rows of
easily.
I'm trying to even think of the name.
That's just in height.
Yeah, and then there's probably like 30 across
to the left of you and right of you.
So all of them will have like a blue light on the outside, and then you'll see one that's green. So you got to find the green one, go to it. And then when you get to it, you take out your gun and you pull it. And the gun or the package, you'll look on it and it'll have a size that it's supposed to be. So if it's supposed to be a little square, it's very visible what the package is supposed to look like on the indicator. Sometimes it doesn't match though, in which case you would have to put the incorrect label. But you'll see the size it's supposed to be. So you confirm that. Awesome. Put it on your thing. And then you'll also see another sticker for the weight it's supposed to be. And then you have a weight measurer on your forklift.
Yeah, when you put it on your forklift, it's got a built-in scale.
So you don't have to analyze anything on the package besides what it's supposed to be. So you'll confirm that it's the correct weight and the correct size. If not, you still put it on your thing, but you just put an incorrect sticker on it. And there's also a chance that it could be damaged, and it's very visible when it's damaged. If you see
claw marks,
a beat up cardboard box, you put the sticker on it. And then later in the game, like I said, they don't give you all this different stuff right away, but later in the game there will be expired packages as well. And same thing, you just put the incorrect sticker on it. And then you either go and recycle your package if it's damaged or incorrect, or then you go deliver it if you've confirmed it's the correct weight and size that it's supposed to be. And then you'll see that you have a job rating, going from F, D, C, B, and then the top is Youngle. That's the max score. If you, as long as you get above an F, you're good. You'll stay in. But if you get an F, you have to redo the mission. That's the bare minimum, which really wasn't hard for me, except the first, I'd say, the first time I played, I did the tutorial, and then I called it a night. I was like, all right, let me just bang out the tutorial real quick. And then I went and played it again like a day or two later, and I didn't remember fully how to play. And I freaking took me like 3 attempts before I kept getting fired. And then I figured out how to, I was like, why am I not checking the packages fully and putting on the correct label? And then it was so easy. It's pretty easy to maintain a positive score above F, I would say.
I thought the hardest part of the game is choosing the right packages. Well, picking whether it's a keeper or not, other than the damaged ones. Because it's visual.
Okay, well,
but when you pick up your packages, you can also pull them in close to you.
Yeah, and rotate it.
And so because you want to be able to check, like you said, you need to know the weight, and you need to make sure that if it's marked a small box.
Yep. Or a long one.
On a large. Because, yeah, the small boxes are smalls. The, half a wide, it's very narrow, but it's a big box is the mediums. And then the larges are obviously large, but they will put incorrect stickers on them.
Yep. So if you're trying to just blow through it, you will make a mistake.
That I think is the one that threw me the most.
It took me, like I said,
because I'm like, I don't understand, because it might show it's a quarter of the way up on the box. It'll have the little scale mark and it'll say bunk, and then you put it on the scale. Maybe it goes 3/4 up.
So then you got to put that incorrect sticker and recycle it.
Yeah, I didn't really understand whether the scale was backwards or whether I'm just an idiot.
Well, it sounds silly, but it took me. I had to fail 3 or 4 times in a row. The first time I played it after the tutorial.
Process of elimination.
And then it made a lot of sense. But yeah, I definitely struggled. So that's the only reason why I'm explaining it so in depth. In this case, I'd love to avoid that instance for somebody else.
Yeah.
So then Skew will take you around in his annoying tutorial bot for
high pitched.
Yeah, for 10.
Yeah, wicked annoying, dude.
For 10 minutes. So I'm giving the spoiler because it's not going to make sense.
It is a spoiler.
It's not going to make sense why Skew's my favorite character though if I tell you he's this high pitched annoying tutorial bot.
Yeah.
But then after they teach you how to play the game in a really creative story mechanic, then Skew kind of resets and snaps out of it, and he has this British voice. Kind of Australian British. I don't even know the exact dialect of it, but he's just freaking hilarious. This game is rated M humor right from the
17
start.
plus.
Yeah, it's they're cussing.
It's on their page.
So right away he snaps out of it and he's like, what the fuck was that? And he's just so when you go from hearing him, high pitch, and then you have the most badass voice actor and character, it's awesome. So then Skew, for their, he's kind of your companion buddy. You and him clearly have a very good relationship. And he's always, for the most part, always with you, kind of helping you deliver packages, giving you funny voiceover work. So it's very easy to fall in love with Skew. And clearly he was enough of a fan favorite that I saw it announced that they're actually, developers of this are making a Skew spin-off game. So clearly we're not the only ones who loved Skew. You're even saying you would have loved to see a Skew plush doll or something.
Oh, dude, I want Skew swag.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Skew is listen, the story is actually really good.
That's what kept me going. Definitely.
Just about the time that you really start understanding how to do your job and how to get, better than failing grades and fired, the story starts kind of coming. It doesn't come together by any stretch because I don't know what people are saying, Nate, how long it takes for them to play it.
I saw some people say 3 hours.
Dude.
Get the hell out of here. At least me personally.
No, no. It is a huge story.
To me, it was.
I'm because
people I could speed run it in 2.5.
But how?
What?
You can't. I couldn't skip cutscenes when I had to replay shit.
I just don't. I don't.
So I don't know how.
Yeah, to me, I had a long experience with this game personally.
How are you avoiding like non-play moments?
And this game gets freaking hard in the sense that delivering.
You said unnecessarily. We were in party chat.
I was getting
this
pissed.
game gets just unnecessarily hard.
Yeah, and because check this, the delivering packages element of the game, I would say is a third of the gameplay, and then the other 2/3, they're gonna mix in. Either you're gonna deliver packages as a mission, or there's gonna be like a stealth element. Maybe there's gonna be some combat element. There's puzzle elements, like you get a hacking tool that you have to solve a puzzle, which is timed. And I suck at the puzzles, dude. How are you at those?
I'm good.
They show you like a picture of it. So they show you a picture, and then there's like a huge hologram of it, and you have to rotate. There's like, I don't know.
You see on your wrist what the puzzle is supposed to look like, and you have to duplicate it on the puzzle in front of you.
Yeah, and there's like
spinning the blocks.
There's like what, 9 blocks?
9 blocks.
It's like 3 by 3, I think, right?
Yeah.
And then there's probably like 4 or 5 different images on each block, so you just have to rotate each one to match the image. But they give you like 30 seconds. But what I've noticed is on most of the puzzles, that unless it was glitching out and it's not supposed to be like this, but I don't think that if it was a glitch, they should get rid of it. If I failed a puzzle, if I ran out of time twice, the third time I did it, it never ran out of time.
Really?
Except if there was some mission, unless it was like, whether when there's 2 puzzles in a row,
yeah,
and you have to do the first one, then the second one, they're vocally saying 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 15. Those ones I could fail infinite amount of times and it never reset. But if I was just like going through an explorable area and then you had to do a puzzle to get to the next spot, yeah, the third time I went to go do it, I could have sat there for 2 minutes.
I can't remember if it was on one of the twofers or just the single ones, but I did one once and failed it, ran out of time. And when I went to do it again and, pulled the puzzle open, everything I had done the previous round was still on the puzzle.
Wow.
And so I literally had to flip like 2 pieces.
Okay.
And then it was, boom, you're done. Okay. But then when I did the second twofer, I'll say, not your first twofer, but your second, I obviously failed it, and it did not, by any stretch, give me the same puzzle.
No. The 2 first ones were hard, because oftentimes those were combined with a stealth element, too. You got to hide from robots with lasers, so you have to be quick about when you go and do it, but you only got 30 seconds to do the puzzle, and there's a robot with laser coming at you. That's when I'm like, yo, come on.
See, I think I never felt like once I was doing the puzzle, I know which one you're talking about.
Oh my God.
But I was
Chapter 4, baby.
I was pretty well concealed.
The game was pretty easy until about halfway through chapter 3. Right. And then they just went max.
No, just about the point where your brain starts saying, I didn't sign up to be a delivery guy. I didn't know this is what the game was.
Yeah, like I said,
when again that game changes and then you go, okay. There's more to this than just I'm delivering.
Yeah, how do you feel about that ratio? Like the delivering is maybe a third of the game? Would you say more or less? I felt about a third.
I would put it at about
half,
40, 45%.
Yeah, somewhere in that range. I feel like a third to 40%.
60% story and lore and
different gameplay mechanics. Yeah. Like I said, a lot of stealth stuff, a lot of
But I mean, even through
some pew pew
through the whole time, you pretty much always have to do your job.
Yeah, but in some ways there might be deliver the packages and do another task as well with it.
Oh yeah, no, they're not shy with making this hard.
Yeah, dude, it got hard.
It's easy when you start. You go, actually, you might even feel a little confident in your delivery because I got a couple of perfect deliveries.
Get the
nice fat reward for it. But no, dude,
it gets hard.
Yeah, I was happy to get screeching over an F. I'm like, okay, I'm content.
And it was one of those games where like I would go blowing through stuff and then I would hit a spot and I would probably be stuck there for like 30 minutes and then I might progress nonstop for like 30 minutes and then I'm going to get stuck at one spot. Like this game had so many one little spots that would catch me up.
Yeah, it's funny because the things that were holding you up,
100% different than yours,
and were different than the ones that were definitely holding me up.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they definitely made it challenging.
Yeah, it gets hard. But the story,
you were like,
I was raging.
oh, dude, you had me dying though, because you're like, there's when you're going, there's no reason for this to be so unnecessarily difficult, and they don't even give you settings to.
They don't.
They don't even
there's
make
no
you
difficulty setting.
I can't even make it easier.
I can't.
I was dying laughing.
I was like, there's no way they had somebody play this and they were like, this is acceptable difficulty at this stage.
Well, dude, that's what I remember. I said that about Unplugged on like the hard mode and shit.
But that's a hard mode.
And then
you're going to hard mode.
But no, remember the developers, like, we used real guitarists, like real musicians to see how it would play, and they were like, oh yeah, this is wicked easy, So maybe they just, because they wrote the game, they're like,
pro gamers. Yeah,
shit's easy. It's
oh
not.
My
there's
goodness.
No look. It's not different. It's a story.
I'm not
We're
wrong.
telling a story.
I'm not wrong to say that there are some levels that get hard in this game, right?
No,
dude, it gets
100% justified.
It gets so hard,
and I get it because it makes it
longer
gameplay.
Yeah. If I never failed one time, it would have been a much quicker experience.
I agree, but it's definitely more than a 3-hour experience.
Yeah.
I don't know who in their right mind would even want to speed run the whole thing.
And it is a game with multiple.
Because it's chapter based.
Yeah. And what's cool is that you can go back and do a scene select.
Dude, I think it takes me like 30 minutes to get through a chapter.
Well, maybe there's 5 chapters. There's 5 chapters. I'd say it probably takes me, depending on the chapter, there are some chapters that were quicker.
So maybe it is 3 hours.
There are some chapters that were quicker. I would say some of the one of the
but
chapters
I know
took
for
me
a
over
fact
an hour.
I spend an hour. Yeah, I won't say the chapter, give away any difficulties. Definitely not chapter 1.
Look, it took me over a week to beat, playing over an hour a night.
Yeah, okay, good point.
That was me personally.
Good
now
point.
there were worse gameplay spots that tripped me up.
Yeah, there was a lot of areas too where before I did anything, I just had to watch the whole environment I was in to see how it was going to play out. Non-spoiler talk here. Before I actually committed to anything, because under commitment, you're freaking dead.
Yeah, and
what's good though is when you die, you continue literally right from your.
There were some things that they didn't necessarily, I feel, explain the best with gameplay either. One notable part to me that they give you a tracker tool at one point, and you figured it out no issue.
I figured it out before I needed to even use it at the start of the round.
I actually had to Google it and I came across Reddit threads of people like, so I wasn't the only one. I wasn't the only one. They don't tell you where it is.
They don't have to.
But they clearly do.
Knowing where it is.
Clearly they do.
But why?
Because that was the first tool that you used that's above you.
Here's, you know what honestly is the reason why?
What?
You were playing it sitting probably straight up.
I was standing and playing.
Yeah. See, if you sit down and play it.
Okay, so clearly they should be explaining where the tool is. And you're kind of lean
back a little. You see your whole.
Okay, what percentage of players do you think in VR are sitting there playing leaned back in a fucking chair?
I'm sitting on a forklift. What the hell am I going to stand up for?
I stand and play.
Wasn't a stand-up forklift. My guy is not a stander, dude.
I know, but I was standing and playing.
Can't even walk without a cane.
So clearly I wasn't the only one. So when you get to the point in the story that you need to use your tracking tool, it's straight above you. It's look up, and it's right there. So
yeah, it is.
There's some things in the game that, and like there's one part where you have to launch your ball, and I was like, what in the hell do I do?
Yeah, they make you earn that.
You don't, they kind of explain it, but they don't.
Well, they clearly showed you.
And you can open up the instructions, and yes, it does show you with a little I felt like I bought some cheap item off of like Amazon or something.
Yeah.
And it came with no instructions, just a diagram. And I'm like, I don't know how to build this. You know what I'm talking about?
At the end of the day, though, they were 100% right with their
but they don't really
description.
It took me...
That's half the fun.
It took me I think that's little things to prolong the amount of time it takes you. So
it was genius.
If you have to launch the ball, you just load it. You're
just full of game spoilers.
No, because honestly, to me, if I wasn't reviewing it...
There's other people that are like, why was this even a struggle? Just like there is a percentage of people who will be like, "How did you not know where
Okay, what
the tagger was?"
I'm not giving spoilers to any of the puzzles, any of the stories. I'm giving like things that I feel like they should have explained better as a consumer.
Yes.
Like they should have told you to look up, and your freaking tagger's right there. They should have told you to launch a ball. You pull down on your analog stick to like, you'll even see it light up and ready to launch. You know that shit took me
then
like
press your trigger.
Yeah, and then pew. Oh no, I don't even think I had to press my trigger.
Oh, because you can do that with packages too, right?
What, just send them flying?
Like you can fly them all the way across.
Oh, that makes sense. I never even did. I never even did that.
Pull the package close and let it light up, and then just pull the trigger.
Oh, you know what that would be useful for? So, okay, when you pick up a package and then you deliver it, after you deliver it, it'll show you what the package was. And there's some pretty funny ones. Like I even had
like a hologram image.
I had a selfie handgun that was making selfie stick handgun.
Like dynamite.
Yeah, it's just funny.
Someone was trying to ship dynamite.
It's just funny thing. So you'll see in the main menu, you can view kind of like a gallery. You can go through a list of all the items, and obviously it doesn't show you what the item is unless you've unlocked it. But you can see like the total percentage of items that you've unlocked, and you can like look through them and stuff.
Shipped.
Yes, you have shipped or discarded too.
Yeah.
But then it also shows you how long it took to deliver it. And each shift is timed. It's not like you have infinite time to get above an F, if that's the style of mission it is. But they don't also have a timer.
Yeah, there's no
awareness of when your shift ends. All of a sudden, you'll just hear your guy going, "Shit, I gotta hurry."
You better hurry.
And then you'll hear, the knockoff, the Youngle boss there. I forget his name, Mr. Youngle, I'll call him. He goes, "It's power hour, so make sure to ship." It's not power hour. It's like power 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Yeah, so
everything shuts down.
Dude, that launching is actually very useful then for power hour. If you're like, I'm not gonna make it,
dude, you better have good aim, no.
But it's better than not make. You might as well shoot it than run out of time.
No, I get it.
So that's actually a good tip. Then I'm glad I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, you can do it just for fun. You can't hurt the robots.
No,
I tried launching it at them, but no, you can launch packages.
No, so yeah, they give you different tools throughout the game. Like I said, like a tracking tool, you get a hacking tool. So the game develops much more than just delivering packages. Skew is much more than just an annoying tutorial bot.
Skew is the star of the show.
Yeah, I totally see why.
In some weird way, because I don't know. I Skew's the shit.
I totally understand why they're doing it.
I want a Skew.
When I heard that they're doing a spinoff, I'm like, good.
Makes sense.
Good. I don't have to say that they should on the episode, because like that's the biggest no-brainer. I agree, the star of the show.
His personality and his sense of humor, and unintentional sense of humor, because he's just a robot. Little like self gyro corrected little robot, but just his mannerisms and the shit he says is just crazy. It's funny.
No, I like that it's adult humor.
He brought that sense. Yeah. Oh, dude, 1,000,000%.
A lot of cussing, but it's very funny adult humor. At least I found it humorous.
It was creatively written. It wasn't just like swears for the sake of swearing.
Well written story too, especially by the halfway point. I was like, I need to get to the next part. I need to know what happens next. So they did a great job in that regard. Again, like you said too, great voice acting. Everybody who partook in the game nailed it.
I didn't find anything shoddy about it, and again, at that moment where I was like, and I know I was telling you, I'm like, dude, I don't know if I can do, a full week of delivering packages, because I just assumed it was just going to be this.
Oh, we kept joking like, hey, you ready to go to work?
Whenever we
would be going to play, like, hey, you ready to hop on? You'd be like, yep, I'm ready for work.
Yeah, I'm ready to punch in.
Which, even though, by that point we knew that wasn't the whole game, it's just funny. It's like, all right, time for my virtual Amazon worker.
But I was getting more and more attached to the story, getting more and more attached to and then the
characters.
Correct. And then they throw other shit at you, and you're
new
like,
characters.
Holy crap. Okay. There's more. It definitely went directions I did not ever anticipate.
No.
So
again, stealth based, combat based.
I'm talking just the story.
Oh yeah, the story. There's, like I said, multiple endings.
Yeah.
So some replayability, but the multiple endings
play it at least twice.
Well, you can do a scene select too, and it's my understanding is the multiple endings. The only thing that dictate them is the last mission.
Yeah.
What goes down in the last mission. So technically, you could just scene select to the last mission and replay it as well too. But
Which
I
is
also
cool.
think I think almost every one of these interactable stories, while I never really personally replay them again, I think if you did, you would find a lot of, foreshadowing, subtle cues, details that you missed in your first playthrough. That now that you understand the full universe and everything like that. But yeah, overall, really well written story, voice acting. If I had any criticism, I guess I'd say that they have some ideological, forced in undertones that like don't really fit in the story too much.
Yeah, I know what you're referring to.
Just meat is bad.
Oh, see, again, I wasn't gonna say shit.
Well, I was gonna say meat is bad. Men are
the most spoiled episode ever, folks.
Meat is bad. I don't think that's saying that's any spoiler. What's a spoiler about that? That they're saying at some point.
Well, I'm not saying nothing about
That'll be a spoiler if you say what it is.
Yeah,
but
it's worked up.
There's no spoiler in saying that there's some little like ideological undertones in it.
Difference of opinion.
It's written by a vegetarian. Yeah. Definitely. There was one.
Yeah, it's not sponsored by Texas Roadhouse or any of that. So
no.
No.
It was actually.
And I agree. I don't know what.
It felt a little forced in.
I don't know what that had to do with.
There was like a men are the reason for aggression dialogue, just kind of forced in at one point too.
Yeah.
That I thought was like, well, I don't know if it advanced the story at all. So yes, definitely.
It doesn't really have a purpose to the overall.
No, I think the story could have been the same without it. So don't eat meat. Organizations are corrupt with men. And then other than that, it's just very politically neutral story. But there's definitely like just random ideological undertones just randomly forced in. It was very interesting, I would say, in that regard. Especially because, you know what? In the meat one, it was used as an example of how bad Youngle is. And my anticipation of what they were going to show was so much worse than what they actually showed.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, that's actually like something that exists like right now, But I understood I didn't have any beef with like the end stage capitalism undertone. That was very apparent. Intended. That was very.
You had no beef.
Yeah.
Huh? I had no steak problem with that.
The end stage capitalism undertone is very apparent from the get go. It's like, oh yeah, this is if corporation ran wild nonstop. It's definitely. I don't think they give you a year, but they give you a day tracker in it, and like pretty early into the story, you're at day 9,000 something.
Yeah.
So I don't think I caught a year in it at any point, but it's definitely in the future.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, this isn't happening. This isn't today. This is where shit will be. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I get their whole representation if like one company was that powerful.
Mm-hmm. I got no beef with that. I got no issue
especially with some much later story.
I actually think it enhanced the story
it's like,
aspect
I mean, you
of
get it. It's like there's a reason why one company shouldn't.
And it's very funny the way they write it all.
And you're literally the last human worker they got. Yeah, which I don't know why they just didn't fire your ass. I don't know. I don't know if you've got some pictures under that picture that's on your thing of like
Mr. Youngle over there
Mr. Youngle, taking it in the jungle, doing something
with some robots,
Yeah. Something going on. Yeah. Well, I don't know. You get that kind of money. I'm sure they're not going to be metal, right?
So, yeah, I had no problem with that undertone or anything like that. But the thing is, though, the story was well written. It's just like
Yeah, I mean, I'm not upset about...
No, I'm not even upset.
The other stuff. It's like...
I just got a comment. I don't know if it was the best writing. It felt a little like... I want to force it in a little.
It was like a commercial break in or an opinion piece in a serious news story.
Yes,
like,
yes, 100%.
This is 100% news, and then we got
Which, by the way, my
James
opinion on
with
it.
His opinion.
That's actually a very good way of putting it.
That's interesting. You know what I did?
Mm-hmm.
I had a hamburger that night, so it didn't have any effect.
Yeah, it was a little fourth wall breaking to me.
Being vegetarian's a choice you make, not because somebody says you need to.
Yeah.
And I say that from past experience, so it's like I can talk the shit I want.
Mm-hmm.
But
you're a vegetarian for a bit.
Yeah, years. Mm-hmm. And then had a
ooh, that's a tasty old cube right there.
You just start licking a cow. Oh man, I want it. No, I went a lot of years, and then what broke me was a freaking Burger King chicken sandwich. You know, the like long oval ones.
Did you feel sick when you went into it?
Nope.
Nope.
But that was the other thing, is I expected to get cramped up, and because
that's what everybody said. That's what I always hear.
I've read horror stories, and it's like I was obviously surrounded by other vegetarians and stuff. We were all doing ours, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna get home. So I waited till I got home to eat the chicken sandwich because I planned on the worst, and I could have eaten another one. I wolfed it down, and then I think I got kielbasa because I actually had missed eating kielbasa, and then I got bacon. I just started pounding all the food that I actually craved, but kielbasa and BK chicken sandwich was what broke me, man.
But what I'll say about this game,
but no discomfort.
No. But what I'll say about, besides that, again, very well written story and great character development. I even had so much attachment with some of the characters that I didn't think I had the amount of attachment I had to them until this, you don't know what you got till it's gone. You know what I mean? I didn't cry. But I'm like, I
hope not.
Dude, no, I felt like it got me sometimes with this. I was like, oh, no.
Well, I knew that was going to happen.
I know, but I don't want it to happen.
No, but it's got to.
I know.
If you look at how stories
how
are truly
did it feel
written,
to you when
they
it was
have to
happening?
have certain effects. And
how was it? How did you feel in that moment?
I was bummed.
I didn't like it. I said no,
but I always know life is good. So it's like
yeah. But it's a great story. Like the fact that they got you to that attachment.
When you're doing video game stories, the elements still have to be there, no different than a love story. So it's like, there's going to be an element where there's going to be something that happens, you fucked up, relationship's doomed. And at the end, you're all together and everybody's happy.
But it was well put together in that regard, in the sense that it didn't feel cliche.
I got definite character attachment, which
very well written.
For a story-based experience, I want. I don't want to be feeling like the outsider playing. I truly felt like the insider playing. So I can't shit on their story at all.
No,
not in the least bit. And I mean,
I'd actually say the story writing and the voice acting is the strongest part of the game.
Most definitely.
The gameplay is, the delivering the packages, meh. It's not my favorite. It's not so bad I would never play it, but it's not it is what it is.
It definitely helped. I mean, I know what you're saying, though. I do. I get both sides, I guess, but I also know exactly what you're saying.
But the other elements of the gameplay, like all the stealth it's challenging. The game is hard. At least to me, it's hard.
I found it difficult. Yeah. I'd put it in, easy, I'd put it as hard.
Look, I'll say if it was only the delivering the packages, it'll get a lower gameplay score than it's going to get from me, which, spoiler, isn't the worst at all. The gameplay's not terrible, but again, if it was only the delivering but the packages,
I wouldn't be talking right now.
Yeah, so I think that's also important to say in case somebody gets a mission or two into it and they're like, oh, I'm not playing it anymore because that's all the game is.
No, you got to ride it out.
There's a lot more to the game.
And just remember, it is a story based, and that's the only thing that again, it'll reach that point, and it's going a different direction real quick. It's cool though, and just don't forget, you always have your job though.
And as long as you don't get an F,
yeah, then you got to redo your day,
redo the mission, yeah,
and you will. Dude,
I failed a lot. I'll say it.
Yeah,
maybe I sucked, but the game was hard to me.
Yeah, no, I do not put it in the easy category. And I wouldn't put it for new VR users.
And there's something
only because, and I had no issues at all, whatever, with gliding around in my. I actually found the movement of my
forklift feels natural,
wicked cool. Yeah, dude. You're in some tight spaces, but that thing can maneuver. So.
And there's even one point where they give you a tool that will make the stealth missions much easier in terms of like, oh, that's a barbaric solution. Hell yeah, I'm down for that. And then they pretty much take it away from you like a mission later. They restrict it. You get limited. You're like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Give you a little taste of the good life.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about, too.
Yeah. Oh, it was a game changer.
And then they just take it from you.
Oh, you fuckers.
And they story take it away from you in a way you're like, fuck,
Nah, they did a good job of tying everything together.
Yeah, you come to
I
enjoy
didn't feel, and again, I didn't feel at any part I wasn't part of the story.
Yeah,
and I think that's wicked important.
Tell me you don't grow some attachment to your slob ass character.
See, I didn't picture him as like. I picture when you talk like the image that you're saying he is,
it's just
and I
get he
it.
Sleeps in a freaking.
I pictured him more of like,
dude, he
the
sleeps
big husky, lumberjack or big husky, just a big husky dude whose bones are worn out, so he needs a cane to walk. And
I think I would have that image
big
if
beard.
he didn't sleep in filth.
Well, that's where I start to agree with you, because his home environment is dirty,
disgusting.
As shit.
Like he has to put a gas mask on to live there.
But I don't think he can afford to live anywhere else because the salary doesn't pay well.
I don't even know if you get paid.
You might get that nice place to live. It's toxic too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He has to put a gas mask, but he's there. I get your mental image until you see his home.
I just look at the face and I'm like, proportionally, it doesn't look like he's 500 pounds.
Yeah, I think that's what they want you to think, though, is that he is.
I just picture him as more of a.
I don't think he's that.
I don't know why I picture him like he'd have any muscles at all.
Yeah, he sits in a chair all day.
I think it's because of the guy's voice.
Yeah,
the voice actor.
The voice actor is really good.
He's got that. It's deep, but it sounds like honestly, if you heard him on a CB and he's like, "I'm just going through town," whatever, you'd be like, "That's a truck driver." There's no doubt about it. You know?
Yeah, they even have like the deep, like I can't explain
I can't
it. Like
even impersonate it. It's just
like the throat rattling. It's so deep. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, man.
Oh, it's nice
baritone voice.
And then Skew,
but he's got that touch of like raspiness to it.
Skew, the boss of Youngle, all the other side characters that you'll meet.
Skew is, I'm telling you, Skew's the shit.
Yeah. That voice actor that did Skew nailed it too.
I don't care if it, dude, imagine if it was the same guy. It's not.
It's possible. I mean, I've seen crazier things.
If
but
you look at their, I think on the store page,
it'll say
they give credit to the voice actors.
Okay, I think so too. I think I remember seeing that.
Unfortunately, by name, I don't necessarily know anybody.
But well, you know what? I'll try to remember the names if I ever see them again because they nailed it.
Voices stood out.
They did a great job.
So. But I'd love to know the dude that is the main character voice is the same voice as Skew.
That would make me so happy.
Blow my mind.
But kudos to this, kudos to the story writers.
Kudos.
Yeah, to the story writers. Huge props to them. Huge props to the voice actors. Huge props to the developers in general. Overall, I'd say a really good game.
Dude, I'm not upset about it at all.
It's one of those go into it, know it's an interactive story. The gameplay exists, but to me, it's the story that really kept me engaged. And it's well written. As somebody who appreciates that stuff, yeah. I'm glad I checked this one out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice little single player story-based adventure. But you want to get into our final thoughts and rating?
Yeah.
I can't think of anything we missed gameplay wise.
Let's see. You gave away half a dozen spoilers.
No. If you listen to this game and you understood,
and the developer's going to fire you an email, and it's going to say, "We deliberately did that,
man.
So you would have to think it through." And thanks for ruining that.
Well, when I see Reddit threads of people like, "Oh, I almost stopped playing the game," at that point, it's worth mentioning. And again, if I wasn't reviewing it,
it's just funny when
it's things that could have.
Look up.
I don't think it was intentionally put like that to make it a struggle to figure out. I think it was a design oversight.
Oh no, they could have hidden it a lot better than they did.
Yeah, if they wanted to make it like you got to think, then
like
they could
earn it.
I think it was just a bad design and bad explanation, in my opinion. But it's not like it takes away from the game. I just think it's worth mentioning as a thing.
It cracks me up.
But yeah, we'll take a break. We'll go into our final thoughts and rating. But I got a plug. Go check us out on YouTube if you're listening to the podcast version.
YouTube.
If you have a YouTube account, go subscribe. Cool things happen when you hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. You can get monetized. So I guess that's kind of low key, a little bit of a goal. So go give us some YouTube love as well if you're listening on podcast form, which most people are. Subscribe, rate us 5 stars there. On Apple, on Spotify. Spotify even lets you comment on the episodes now. Go check out our Discord channel, which we plugged a lot on Monday. I'll say it again. Great, welcoming, non-toxic community. We're running giveaways for it. So every week we're giving away new different game keys. Just go there. You'll see all the info of how to enter. So as well, a lot of game meetups and cool VR and just general life discussion. So go join that community, and you can also join our Patreon. That gives you an exclusive chat room in our Discord community, as well as we have other perks like a weekly on-air shout-out, your name across a rolling ticker on the videos every week. So go check that out. Go check out our Discord for some fun community and giveaways, and we'll be back with you in just a moment for our final thoughts and rating.
Yay.
Woo. This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Design, the leader in MetaQuest and VR accessories. And now you can deck out your device while supporting the podcast. The MetaQuest 2 is a great headset, but do you ever feel things could be a bit more comfortable? Well, we have the solution for you. With lens protectors, controller grips, face covers, head straps, link cables, headset stands, and more, including my two personal favorites, the top version controller grips with added weight and an extended handle, and the Kiwi upgraded Elite strap. Let's be real, we've all whacked our controller. Don't be the guy messaging Oculus support for your own mistake or waiting weeks for an out-of-stock controller. Visit the link in our show notes to prepare yourself today. After visiting the link in our show notes, make sure to use the promo code RoughTalkVR at checkout, all one word, to take full advantage of your savings. And make sure to click the link in our show notes so the podcast gets credit and you help support us. Remember, whatever you need, Kiwi has you covered.
This episode of Rough Talk VR is sponsored by BetterHelp. Virtual reality gaming is amazing, but let's not forget to take care of our mental health in the real world too. BetterHelp is the world's largest online counseling platform, offering professional, affordable, and convenient therapy. Their licensed therapists specialize in everything from depression and anxiety to relationship issues and stress management. So, if you've been struggling to balance your love for MetaQuest VR gaming with life's challenges, BetterHelp is here to support you. They'll match you with the perfect counselor, tailored to your specific needs, and with the convenience of video, phone, or even live chat sessions, you can get the help you need from the comfort of your own home. As a Rough Talk VR listener, you get a special offer of 10% off your first month of BetterHelp. Just visit betterhelp.com/roughtalkvr. That's betterhelp.com/roughtalkvr and start taking charge of your mental health today. Hey everyone, sorry for the interruption, but we have a special public service announcement. Manscaped now has beard products and now a brand new nose and ear hair trimmer. If you haven't already heard, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming are traveling north of your South Pole with their revolutionary Beard Hedger Pro Kit. Plus, they've now launched the brand new Weed Whacker 2.0, which confirms they have all of your best tools for your hygiene toolbox. Time for you to upgrade your toolbox by going to manscaped.com and using our code RoughTalkVR for 20% off plus free shipping. Gentlemen, meet the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. It is the ultimate package that makes it easier than ever to craft your signature look. It all starts with the Beard Hedger. This thing is an elite beard trimmer. The Beard Hedger is tough on hair but smooth on your face, leading to single stroke efficiency that brings satisfaction one stroke at a time. This waterproof cordless trimmer has a rotary wheel that gives you 20 hair cutting lengths, all with one guard. So no more messy drawers full of extra add-ons. The Pro Kit also comes with 4 dermatologist-tested formulations for your post-trim care. This includes Manscaped's beard shampoo and conditioner, beard oil, and beard balm to moisturize, style, and shimmer your new beard. Plus, the kit has 3 free gifts: a beard brush, a comb, and scissors. With a nice beard, you think your face is perfectly groomed, right? Wrong. You need to keep an eye out for those tough-to-trim ear and nose hairs. The brand new Weed Whacker 2.0 offers improved blades and skin-safe technology with a no-tugging guarantee. It's never been so painless to mind your manholes. Now that you have your face looking great, you must try Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0 for the full body grooming experience. Good news though, the Performance Package 4.0 now comes with the Weed Whacker 2.0 and all of the other below-the-waist grooming products Manscaped is known for. Your significant other will be delighted to see you covering all bases, if you know what I mean. So get 20% off and free shipping with our code RoughTalkVR at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code RoughTalkVR. Always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
And we are back with no recollection of who went last week.
I did.
You did? Okay. I swear our listeners probably listen better than us in that regard. Or not listen, but remember better than I do. So usually we have 5 different categories, all rated 1 to 20 for a game, being gameplay, aesthetics, functionality, replayability, and value. But like other instances of story-based games, it's really not fair to review this one on replayability. We did the same thing for Peaky Blinders, that we're going to drop the replayability category. Interactive story game, so some consistency there. We kept it for Not for Broadcast, because Not for Broadcast is a unique example of that there's like 1,000 different ways that game can chain in micro ways throughout it, and beyond multiple different. I think there's like 4 different endings. So Not for Broadcast was a little exception, but for the most part, if you see interactive story as the genre, we're probably going to drop replayability. That's only fair. So since there's 4 categories, it goes 1 to 25 for each category. So I'll start with gameplay. I'm going to give them a 20 out of 25. Again, if it was only delivering packages, I don't think I'd be giving a 20 out of 25. But they keep it fresh. They keep it unique. You're doing stealth. You're doing, I don't want to give full spoilers on everything, but they keep the gameplay.
Go for it.
Yeah, they keep
halfway there.
They keep the gameplay fresh. I don't think I gave that many spoilers. I think if you never played this game,
no, I'm fucking.
And you heard what I said,
you're
not going to have any visualization.
No, I'm 100% trolling.
So gameplay, I'll give a 20 out of 25. Fun. I think if it was some way to scale the difficulty as you explored more of the end game, I think I'd be able to give more of a 25 out of 25. And same thing if more things were better explained in terms of minor little gameplay mechanisms. I think then I'd see a full score for 25 out of 25. But it's fun. It's a good game, and the story is, like I keep saying, the voice acting is amazing. So 20 out of 25. Aesthetics, 15 out of 20. And man, as I'm reading this, I'm debating on going up to 20 out of 25. It's very rare this happens, but sometimes it does. It's like you go to read your score and it's like, dude, I just praised the voice acting and all that for an hour. 15 out of 25 sounds a little low to me. My justification for that would be I'm really not that huge on the cell shade graphics. It didn't stick out to me as anything like crazy good.
Did they do?
Yeah, that's what makes me want to go up to a yeah.
So
I'm gonna actually change this. I'm gonna go up to a 20 out of 25. Yeah, I looked at my thing and it just felt wrong as I'm saying it. So I'll give them a 20 out of 25 on aesthetics. I convinced myself during our review, just based off of the voice acting and all of that. So 20 out of 25 on aesthetics. Functionality, I'm going to give them also just to conclude on that, not the best graphics by any means, not the worst. And again, if they're going for cell shade graphics, damn, they did nail it. So 20 out of 25. Functionality, I'll give a 20 out of 25. I had a couple minor glitches with like packages getting stuck. There was a couple, I don't want to say what the mission was, but I had to grab something that was the only mission in the game that you'll be grabbing it. And it was definitely wonky. There was a couple wonky things, but they're really they're minor. I can't give a perfect score for functionality, but no game crashes, no frame rate drops or anything like that. Just a couple wonky things. So 20 out of 25 on functionality as well. So far, 3 20s. And value for $19.99 for a story-based game, I'm going to give them a 25. I think that $14.99 would be like, they probably have sold triple the amount of copies because it's just more mentally approachable of a price. But when I look at the amount of time it took me to beat it and the quality of the story and the voice acting, yeah, it's definitely worth $20. I don't know. I agree with what you said. I don't know where in the hell people are coming up with 3 hours. Me personally, dude, like I said, a little over a week of playing it, an hour to 2 hours every day, every night. So there's definitely $20 worth in quality story, quality voice acting. So I'll give them a 25 out of 25 on value. So 20, 20, 20, 25. They get an 85 out of me.
Not friggin' bad.
Not bad. I think definitely better than 26 total ratings on the official store. But nonetheless, I think that'll kind of snowball as time goes on too.
All right. So I can't really disagree with anything you said, except for like one category. So it's interesting because just I mean, I didn't know what to expect totally going into it when we started playing it. Admittingly was kind of like within the first 20 minutes or so was hoping that this game wasn't going to be strictly this one dimensional with, man, for real, I just got to sit here and deliver packages for like now till I die. I don't understand. I didn't really understand if there'd be a true purpose, and was actually like, wow, is it never gonna, would this ever end? Like, what's going on? And I was just being, I guess, anxious. But the gameplay, I'd give them a 20. I think they did a great job with what, in the overall scheme of things. And gameplay and aesthetics are kind of tied in together on this one, because I also give them a 20 on the aesthetics, but it's part of that voice acting. Then even the sound effects are like pretty much spot on. They deserve the 20. So I can't argue either one of those. You said it very well. Functionality, though, I had no issues. There was one particular mission that I had to do, and I thought it was the game's fault that I couldn't do it. And then when I figured out really how to do it, I was like, oh, this is me. I get how to do it now. But I could have probably, and it doesn't sound like the same issues at all like you're talking about. So I can't gig them for functionality because my hover lift worked like it was supposed to. Obviously the cutscenes were, I'm out of control of those, and I didn't have any like lock up or anything. Never got kicked. I was struggling to find something that, maybe didn't work. There's obviously no voice chat in it, but shit, we even used party chat when we played it a couple of nights, and I didn't have issues. So I give them a 25 in functionality. And then value for money, again, $19.99. You're not hurting my feelings. If it was 24, I'd be like, okay, you do get a lot of hours, but again, that might. So I think they really hit a great target price. Although I swear I saw it for $14.99. I'm gonna check that later.
Maybe it was on sale.
Yeah, I mean, but then that goes to show you, if it drops on sale at the store, maybe it'll drop down to $14.99, which makes it even a better deal than the scores we're giving it, which I'm giving it a 25 also.
25% referral code too.
Yeah, so I give them a 90, and I kind of argue with myself a little that might be 5 too high, but based on the rating system, what am I going to say? The gameplay is legit at 20.
Sometimes I don't always, my emotion doesn't agree with the final score that I give.
You know what? This is a great example of that. Like, me as a person would be like, that's an 85. But it's like, well, you know what?
Now put it through the rating system.
Put it through the rating. I mean, okay, we'll all agree it's not a 25 gameplay, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. The aesthetics and the voice work, we'd probably all agree is a 20.
20, yeah. It's great. It's nothing.
They do the if it's cell shading that it's called.
Mm-hmm. They accomplish it.
They did it well.
The voice acting is amazing.
And they killed it with side characters. I mean,
Skew, baby.
Skew, and there's another thing that you'll see also, not the bird, but another character, and it's just cool to see it there every time you're in your house.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Man, I'm like, and I pay it anytime there's a scene.
Sometimes it changes location though.
Yes, it'll be like down there, and then the next time it's like right over, pretty much next to you. I appreciate that a lot. So I mean, I can't argue with my own rating if I'm truly being honest. So it deserves a 90, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Just like I was saying, there's fact, and then there's...
Yeah, if you were going to make up a score off the top of your head with no justification for each category, it's going to be different than what comes out of the rating system. But that's why I love our rating system.
Mm-hmm. Keeps you honest.
Yeah, and it's like, if there's no replayability in an interactive story, there's no point in... It's an interactive story. It's not supposed to be. It's a movie.
They get
it's a playable movie.
Yeah. Yeah, they did it good. And again, it went directions I never saw coming. So I give them kudos
both in story
for that.
and gameplay.
was only one thing that I saw coming, and that involved, something that I can't say, but whatever.
I will say the only
whatever.
A big reason that I dropped 5.2 on the functionality was I did have one glitch where at one point, spoiler, you take control of skew in some mechanism. It's non-standard gameplay though. It's actually pretty freaking hard, that part. That mission where you take control of skew, but you pressed a button. It was like press B to take control of skew, and I had paused the settings, like not my Oculus pause, my in-game pause. I paused right before it, and then if I press B, it went in, nothing would happen, and I had to hit restart scene, which. So there's a lot of checkpoints in the game. Usually you die. The most you got to do is like 1 minute of work. It's like they're pretty friendly with checkpoints, but I had no way to kill myself, so I had to hit restart scene, which legit knocked me back to the start of the scene.
Yeah,
I lost like 20 minutes of work.
I got you.
And I was like, oh. So if you're going to go control skew, don't pause the game right before, because you might not be able to take control of him.
I want to know what this skew-based game is going to be.
Yeah, I hope it's not the gameplay that existed when you...
Dude, here's my fear,
when you played him.
Don't make me play skew.
You hope it's a story about skew?
I want to play and be able to see skew.
As a sidekick, I agree.
Because I don't want to lose skew's personality and mannerisms. Unless they're trying to do like a takeoff of, it's real popular.
What, Jak and Daxter?
No, the one that just came out, and the main character swears all the time.
Oh, High on Life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I played, and I'll admit, it's funny as hell. I mean, dude, like next level, freaking funny. Another 17 plus.
I think, do you remember Jak and Daxter? Jax and Daxter?
No.
You don't?
No.
Oh my goodness. One of the highlights of the PS2 library to me. Honestly.
It sounds like I'm as you're saying it, I'm like vaguely.
I want to say there's 3 of them. And
vaguely remember.
Oh my goodness. Great game. Honestly, really good game. And I totally think that they could have a thing going with your main character in skew, in terms of Jak and Daxter with if I pull up a picture of it real quick. You know what? We're at the end of the episode. If anybody's still listening, they can bear with me for a second. I just want to show you the screen art of it
I
real
just
quick.
want them to have I want merch. I want a skew doll or a skew plushie.
Jak and Daxter. Let's go.
Let's see what you got here.
You ever see the screen art? Jak and Daxter?
Yeah, I never watched it.
Or you never played it?
No.
Oh my goodness, great game. No. It was like one of those open world adventure games.
If this was early PS, and that's PS4, but if it's early
that was
PS,
a remaster.
I was doing mainly driving games and shit like that.
Yeah, and they went all the way to Jak 3. They eventually dropped Jak and Daxter, but you see what I mean? Like that's your skew, and that would be you.
Yeah, I just don't want to.
People love Jak and Daxter.
I'll be skew if his personality is shown and like you get the voice actor.
Well, so what I'm hoping is, even though it's called skew, is that it's a little bit of a Jak and Daxter type thing, and
maybe really plugging this Jak and Daxter.
Well, because it was a great game. I actually think that somebody who works for Meta actually made Jak and Daxter. Jason Rubin.
You trying to confirm that?
Yeah. Look at that.
That'd be interesting.
Co-founder of Naughty Dog, creator of Crash Bandicoot, which is another fantastic.
Yeah, that
should be in VR, because there's some successful platformers.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be excited about it.
So, some people
like Sonic the Hedgehog coming to VR. It's like, all right,
don't fucking
spinning all around like that.
There's some people on our Discord right now who are gonna go, shut up.
I'm just saying, you're gonna put everything out there.
But yeah, no, that's actually funny. Jason Rubin, yep, he made
Super Mario Brothers,
Crash Bandicoot, and Jak and Daxter.
Which I think Super Mario Brothers would be all right.
I still want to see Mario Party in VR.
Yeah,
I talk about it all the time.
Just because I said Sonic doesn't mean I want to play that.
No,
just saying that was Sega's bread and butter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
movies, dolls, games, whatever.
Nonetheless, though, but yeah, no, fun stuff from The Last Worker. If you like interactive stories, it's got a well written one with good voice acting. Nothing like cheesy or corny. Besides one or two little forced Doesn't really need to be in. Doesn't like advance the story. Just somebody had to get, like you said, an opinion piece in a news article. But other than that,
it's in there.
It's nothing that spoils the experience. It's nothing that goes, oh, I can't play this. It's just like,
make sure you have a fat steak before playing.
Yeah, but still very good. Like 85 and 90, that's damn good score. So
yeah, I can't dispute it. So jokes aside about the anti-beef campaigns.
Yeah, hey,
whatever.
I don't judge. I don't give a hell what anybody does.
If it
with themselves,
but I'll say this: if it was one big campaign like that through the
my God, I want to be able to do it.
Be like, I'm good.
But I will say,
I don't need the lecture.
It's worth mentioning too, because I don't want somebody to hit that point and go, just know that's not the whole story. When you hit that point,
no.
It's like it literally
doesn't graphically. It's kind of cool.
That's what I mean. I was like, dude, that's some good looking. Like, I want that cube right now. Can I fry up that cube? Can I just get a slice of it right now? Yeah, I'm one of those people. I don't criticize anybody who's vegan, vegetarian, or dairy free, or gluten free, or you do whatever, bro. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters, right? Yeah. I don't give a damn.
That's what I hope for people.
Yeah, just don't force it on me either. As long as we have that mutual understanding.
I go either way. Yeah, I'll take it. I love a good vegetarian barbecue, but you better know what you're doing.
I love a good salad.
Just don't serve me fucking vegetables and call it vegetarian. It's like, bro. It goes a little deeper than that, Let's get some food out here.
You know what's my only thing I can't do? Carb on carb. Like sweet potato. I've seen sweet potato sandwiches. No way. That's just too much carb mush for me.
Potato filled with rice?
Yeah, no, I don't like double carb like that. I don't like double carb. And I see that sometimes. I can handle double carb if it's like squashes and stuff mixed in, squash and beans, and it's like, okay.
If it's the only shit you're getting for maybe the whole day, then maybe. Yeah.
Rice and beans, I can do that type of carb mix, but like
people do that all the time. Bread and butter with pasta.
Yeah, bread and spaghetti. It just doesn't do it for me.
It's like a
staple. Can do bread. I can do if I'm doing like a Thanksgiving dinner though. I'm going to take that mashed potato and put it on a biscuit.
Yeah,
that's different.
Well, it's a holiday,
but
you're supposed to do that.
For the most part, it's like carb on carb. It's not even that it's like too much for me. It's just not really appealing.
It varies. I catch myself doing it sometimes. Like if I actually have even like fucking French fries and a cheeseburger, like you get a nice burger at a place and it comes with fries, but that bread is
meanwhile though
not helping the cause.
Then you'll see like those vegan specific restaurants. Like there's one really not far from us, like 20 minutes, and like you'll see what they post, and you'll hear people who talk about them who aren't even vegan who go there, and it's like, dude, some good food too.
If it's done
correct.
If it's done properly.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
I had a vegan dinner. I didn't order it. It's just that's what they were serving there, and it was fucking home run. It's like, but if you have a personal chef that's gonna cook for you, yeah, you bet your ass you could eat vegan. You wouldn't even think about it. You just know that your food tastes delicious and you felt full after. If you're left to your own accord, and you got to learn everything and like. Eat as much vegetables as you want. You're going to get sick of it real quick. You got to think of ways to get creative. And, there's a lot of, it's not cheap either. It's very expensive.
I remember that there was one point where it hit me with some undertones in this game. And we were on party chat and I was like, this fucking game and there are fucking ideological undertones. Dude.
Yeah. I was cracking up.
Oh, man. And again, it was nothing ever that turned me off. It's
just funny.
Absolutely funny. Yep. But again, well done humor too. I love that it's that
I get excited anytime a game says 17 plus. Right off the bat, I'm like, there's a reason for it. And in this case, it was language. And
if I remember correctly, F-bombs in the first 10 minutes.
Dude, right from the get-go.
That's how I remembered it. I wouldn't even
say 10 minutes.
Maybe first 3?
Yeah, 5 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, well, at least by the time you're done with this tutorial, I don't know if he cusses, if there's any cussing before it, but like Skew's opening line as real Skew.
Skew is the best.
He's like, yo, if I ever fucking do that again, kill me, recycle me.
His voice is perfect.
Oh my God.
It's exactly like if you were to like wish for his voice to be a certain way, that's the voice.
Did you smile when it switched to that?
I was stoked.
I was actually excited.
I couldn't. I was like,
I'm not sitting through a whole game with this fucking annoying robot.
Yeah, I tried I wanted to shoot him with my gun.
Your character wanted to shoot him.
Yeah.
Your character was like, "Get over here, let me reset you."
Out. No.
Yeah, SKU's the best,
real
man.
the real SKU is.
I want a SKU doll, plushie.
That's what I'm saying.
Model, statue. I want something SKU poster.
We'll talk to the developers and see if they're working on such a thing. Not even asking about the game. You gonna be selling SKU merch?
Sometimes I wonder. I feel like game companies don't really like cash in on the merch opportunities they're sitting on.
I just think a lot of them
too busy, too much going on.
Too busy doing their shit. It's like, look, we'd love to make a SKU coffee mug for you, but
sorry, brother,
we're busy making SKU games. I mean, but I really want to know what the SKU game's going to be.
Is it going to be in VR? There's no guarantee of that,
right? It could be.
I don't think that this game
just be a phone app.
I think that this game came out flat screen first, and then came VR. I'm pretty sure.
Why wouldn't they keep it VR?
I hope they do.
I don't know. Anyways, I'm excited.
No less so, 85 and 90. So go check out the Discord, go check out the Patreon, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, visit us on YouTube, help us hit that monetizing goal. Don't forget, in our Discord, we do giveaways. We have an exclusive channel for our Patreon subscribers, and we might have something in tune for Friday. So stay tuned. Check you out. Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye.